What's up, man? Attack Squad, your boy SatAttack. When I react to the title, we'll react to the Warriors should have never won the championship. Won this championship. Bruh, this is fact, bro. Warriors should not have won this shit, bruh. This is a weak ass championship, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, bruh. Warriors is the thing, bruh. But we're gonna check this out. Road to 2K, join the fam. We're gonna stoop, we're gonna dummy. Check out my other channel if you want to see NBA content and stuff. That's might die down a little bit because the season's over, but when it comes back, we're gonna get back on the grind. But gotta focus on this channel now. But let's get it.
Just didn't go our way.
Cause man, bro, how they let Warriors win, bro? In my second channel, I made predictions. The only team I didn't want to win was the Warriors, and they won, bro.
I don't know how many different ways to say it, but it was a special year, all things considered. Now I'm in a new experience with me, Draymond alone. Tried to make the most of it. Come back, bottle this up. Everybody make the right strides, take advantage of the summer, and
they damn did that. They for sure did that.
I want to see us next year.
Damn, he won the league, and the league just the league ain't even doing shit, bro. Their team wasn't even that good.
Is still very much alive.
He called it. Against all odds, the Warriors are now the 2022 NBA champions. Somehow, this team that was dead in the water.
Like, they didn't even have, nah, fuck with Looney. Never mind. I was gonna say they didn't even have a true center, but Looney was nice. Looney was underrated. He put like his offensive rebounds were crucial in most of these series.
Just 2 seasons ago, has been crowned NBA champions. But this team had no business even being here in the first place. This Warriors team was never supposed to win this championship. A roster full of has-beens and fringe players making a run at a championship? It's impossible. Well, at least it should have been impossible. But they've got Stephen Curry. And as I was watching Steph completely dismantle the Boston Celtics on their home court to close out the finals, I thought to myself, I'll more than likely never see another player like this in my lifetime. What Steph is doing
I don't know about that. Because there's a lot of people trying to mimic Steph, you feel me? So I feel like there's going to be one person out there that's going to, like, you know how Kobe and Michael was like pretty much the same? But someone's going to be like Steph, bro. I don't know if he's going to be as efficient and stuff, but like, I don't know. But of course he's one of a kind because he's pretty much changed the game and shit. So everyone's remember Steph as Michael Jordan to whoever tried to mimic his game, but like,
we never see another player like this.
Yeah, he's nasty though.
Lifetime.
I ain't gonna lie.
What Steph is doing cannot be duplicated.
There's still levels to him and LeBron.
He is truly
before y'all get it twisted.
And I think it's time we take a closer look at where he ranks among the greatest players to ever play this game.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because the Warriors should have never won this championship.
I'm not gonna lie, he's nasty, bro.
Today's video is
I just know too many Warriors fans that think he's on LeBron's level, bro. If y'all were to stop comparing him to LeBron, I wouldn't mind Steph winning at all. But y'all be comparing him to LeBron, Stephen A. Smith talking about LeBron. Get out of here.
18 NBA season. There's the buzzer. There's a new dynasty in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors champions once again, back-to-back titles.
I hella got Nick Young won the championship. What's up?
And the latest with a sweep.
Do y'all remember exactly where you were and how you felt when this happened?
I was pissed. Because they should have won game 1 of that series, bro.
I vividly remember
LeBron dropped 51. Couldn't win at least one game, my boys.
Watching the Warriors dismantle the NBA year after year on their way to an all but certain championship. I remember sitting idly by as my favorite player was getting walked out of the building in the finals. It was inevitable, and it felt perpetual, like the reign of the Golden State Warriors was never going to end, and I would spend the rest of my days watching this unbeatable, unstoppable Goliath of a basketball team make quick work of every single organization that stood in their way. I felt hopeless.
It just proved that that whole Draymond talking back to KD was true, bro. Said we don't need your ass, but they want one without him before, one with him to be LeBron, and one without him.
The Warriors pushed me to the brink of insanity, and it was never going to end. Or at least that's what I thought.
Ibaka trying to stay with Durant.
Yeah, my boy LeBron would have gave him a run for the money if they didn't have KD. Like, that would have been a great, my bad. That would have been a great freaking rivalry. It still was. But if it was just Clay, Steph, and Draymond versus Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love for like 3 straight years, bro. Like 4. So 2015, 2016, 2017.
And that was it.
And then 2018 possibly if Kyrie
cementing
doesn't
their
leave,
spot as one
they
of the
win
greatest
27.
dynasties in NBA history all came crumbling down in a matter of moments. Goliath had fallen, and for the first time in half a decade, the door was open for other teams to win it all. The Raptors won their first championship in franchise history, the Bucks won their first championship in half a century, and the Lakers were crowned champions for the first time in a decade. The Dragon had been slain, and I could now rest knowing the Golden State dynasty was behind us.
Psych. Psych.
6 NBA Finals in 8 years, 4 NBA championships, a remarkable run by any measure that only a handful of teams in the history of NBA have accomplished. Congratulations,
LeBron did that.
You are the 2022 NBA champion.
I couldn't have been more wrong. Because somehow, despite injuries and roster changes and ups and downs and everything in between,
I still can't believe it, but that just proves to show experience really do matter, bro.
Champions.
Experience really do matter.
We said they were getting too old.
They're not the most talented.
Were too injury prone. We said the roster looked like a G League team. We said they couldn't win without Kevin Durant. And they proved us all wrong. Just last season, if you told me the Warriors were going to win another championship, let alone a championship this season, I would have checked you into a mental institution. They went from one of the best teams in the history of the NBA to the worst team in the NBA to champions again in record time. Just take a moment to appreciate this roster that defied all odds and became champions. Out of the 14 players that suited up in the postseason, 6 of them had 0 playoff experience. Instead of seeking out the brightest stars around the league, the Warriors went and acquired players that fit within their system and maxed out their potential. They found value in guys like Gary Payton Jr. and Otto Porter Jr. They saw immense utility in guys like Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole and gave them a chance to shine on the biggest stage. Even Andre Iguodala, the oldest player in the entire NBA, played a crucial role as a mentor and a leader for the Warriors throughout the playoffs. This was a masterclass on coaching, adjustments, and players buying into their role and maximizing their impact on the game. The catalyst of this improbable run, the once-in-a-lifetime talent of Stephen Curry. Before this year's playoffs, we were asked who had the most to prove and whose legacy would be altered the most with the championship. I thought maybe Chris Paul, Giannis, James Harden, maybe even Luka Doncic. But the answer all along was Stephen Curry. Because now that he has a long-awaited, well-deserved Finals MVP, the man has done it all. 4 championships, 2 MVPs, 8 All-NBA teams, 8 All-Star appearances, 2 scoring titles, an All-Star MVP, most three-pointers in NBA history, and a Finals MVP. One of the greatest careers the NBA has ever seen. And at 34 years old, is still as incredible as ever. Now, as NBA fans, we have an unhealthy obsession with all-time rankings, moving players around on our all-time list every other week like some sort of sick game of musical chairs. But if we're going to be honest with ourselves, I think we can all agree that there are
top 10 is that boy LeBron at 6. But if we're Get that motherfucker out of here, Bruce Bowen, but yo, stupid ass out of here, bro.
To be honest with ourselves, I think we can all agree that there are a handful of players that remain a step above everyone else. And these are those players. Now, where you choose to rank these players will be different depending on who you ask. Personally, I have them ranked like this. Now,
I can see it. LeBron go for me, but it's cool.
This all-time top 10 has virtually remained the same for years. The most recent player to be on this list was LeBron James, who's been on it for about a decade now. And before him, the most recent players to join this exclusive club were Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant. Regardless of where you choose to rank these players among your all-time top 10, the players that make up this top 10 haven't budged.
It's gonna be tough for the Steph to break that.
Recently, I was tempted to add Kevin Durant to this list, but realistically, I couldn't bring myself to remove anyone in his place, so he remains on the outside looking in. But after this championship run by Stephen Curry and his entire season as a whole, the time has come. It's time we add a new player to this list.
Over Will?
It's been a long time coming, and it's well deserved.
This dude put up top 7. put him over Tim Duncan, Bill, and Shaq, and
Stephen Curry is now undebatably a top 10 player of all time, and this season has cemented his spot on this list. Every all-time player has won with their respective organizations. This is his spot on this list. Every all-time player has won with their respective organizations. This is a definitive requirement of greatness. But only a few players made such a massive impact that the success of an entire franchise began and ended with them. Tim Duncan introduced winning basketball to San Antonio. They couldn't win before he got there, and they haven't won since he left. Michael Jordan didn't just win with the Bulls. He was the Bulls. Stephen Curry isn't just winning in a Warriors jersey. He is the Golden State Warriors. In 2009, he came into a struggling franchise, and over the last 13 seasons, he has turned them into a behemoth. See, it's one thing to come into a franchise that has seen success, one that has won before him and has championship DNA. It is a completely different accomplishment to be drafted to a franchise that has never even sniffed a title and turned them into a dynasty. Russell did it, Mike did it, Duncan did it, and Steph has spent the last decade doing it as well. But you don't have to watch Steph tear your favorite team apart to see his generational impact. Steph is as important to the Warriors' success as any player has ever been to any team in NBA history. Here's a chart of the top 10 players all time and how many wins they added to their respective teams over the course of their entire career. For example, throughout Wilt Chamberlain's career, his team won 7.5% more when he played versus when he didn't play. Shaq's teams won 15% more when he played versus when he was sitting out. Now, anything above 10% is incredible, and nearly all of these players are far above that threshold.
Look at LeBron.
When Kobe played, the Lakers won 21.5% more games than when he didn't. Larry Bird led to the direct result of the Celtics winning 22.8% more games. And, of course, the two players that had the largest impact on their team's success are Michael Jordan, and with a large gap above everyone else, LeBron James. But the most important, most impactful, game-changing player for any franchise in the history of the NBA is Stephen Curry. The Warriors win over 32% more games when Curry is playing versus when he's not. That is the equivalent of Steph adding an additional 26 wins for the Warriors over the course of each regular season of his entire career, just by himself.
Really
but this isn't some sort of theoretical impact found by just using numbers. We've seen with our own eyes just how lost the Warriors are without Steph. 2 years ago, just 5 games into the Warriors season, Steph broke his hand and was sidelined for the remainder of the season. And in that season, the Warriors weren't just bad. They weren't just one of the worst teams in the NBA. They were literally, by far,
that was gonna be a tough year regardless, even if they had Steph. But
worst team in the entire league. The very next season, Steph returned to the lineup and the Warriors' winning percentage more than doubled. And, well, the rest is history. No matter which players come and go, regardless of how the roster changes around him, Steph remains at the center of one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history. The Warriors should have never won this championship. This title was not in the cards for them. A long shot at best. Just 10 years ago, it was almost unanimously agreed upon that a team could not win a championship off of three-pointers and jump shots. It was believed that you could not win a title with a point guard doing the heavy lifting for your offense. 2015 was a fluke. 2016 was a blown lead.
But there were also, like, people can't replicate that, bro. Like, they different, bro. They got two of the greatest shooters ever, bro. Like, what are the chances you draft two of the greatest shooters ever, bro? That's not likely, bro. So, people trying to mimic their play style is not going to work, bro.
For your offense. 2015 was a fluke. 2016 was a blown lead. The next two, well, those don't really count, right? They had Kevin Durant.
Facts.
All they do is shoot threes. They'll never
They don't count. 17, 18 don't count.
Even a Kevin Durant will be a finals.
17, 18
I wouldn't bet
count.
against us.
Alright, man, that's gonna do it for that video, bro. They really shouldn't have one. If I'm being honest, okay, Steph really carried that team, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Clay did stay here and there in a couple games, but and Wiggins, I respect the Wiggins. Nah, bro, fuck it. That whole team did a thing, bro. I'm thinking back on it, bro. Looney did his thing on the offensive room, bro. They all played a great role, bro. Steve Kerr really put everyone in, like, position to succeed. Of course, Steph did the most, like, scoring like 30 points a game type shit, but, like, Everyone played a great role and on that team. But yeah, that's gonna do it. We out.